right. That was a friend there um, from the Valley who's Nina Carter wanted to holler at me there. But this is Big Loss, WCD Shop Talk. This is Postgame show with the University of Virginia Cavaliers actually winning today against Syracuse. The Syracuse Orange, and the score 72-59 now. You know, this is about three, 4 games in a row where the team playing a team that I feel like they should have handled a lot more easily than they did. I mean, we're talking a team that is not, in the top half of the ACC, and if the team's not in the top half where UVA is ranked, either second or third, based off of who wins the wins and losses. This season so far, I feel like if UVA can really, buckle down, play the style of basketball that we're used to seeing them play. I mean, they had double-digit lead. They had 2 double-digit leads, and 2 times during the game, and lost the double-digit lead, so to speak. And Syracuse was able to get it down to 6 one time, and I think the other time was 5 points or 4 points. And I look at it and I'm thinking, is this team ready for the ACC tournament, let alone March Madness? Keep in mind, you have a slowdown in any of these games in the tournament play, that could be your season. It could be over just like that. So, is UVA ready for the tournament? And this is what it's about. Now, I will say, I was sitting here with one of my guys. You saw Frank Maloney. We talked about it during the game. We were thinking and saying, is Virginia going to be, with these players, are they going to be energized? Because, they are running, at a quicker pace. I mean, they're not running as quick as that we're used to seeing earlier in the year. But, I think they need to make more shots. They haven't been making as many shots as they, as we're used to them seeing. And I mean, they shot 33% from 3. Not good enough. That was 10 of 30. They shot 41% from the field goal. Now I know they won, but I still won by 13 points shooting that bad. But Syracuse is a team that was also 13 and 10. And being a team that was 13 and 10, are they a team that, that we feel is going to, be a team that is going to be there at the end of the year? Now, we'll tell you this. The team that the Syracuse brought in here today, they have some shot makers. They have guys who can make some shots. And, I was really impressed with how many of those guys I did see, in the way of so many offensive players playing that well as far as them running their offense, getting open shots. A lot of those shots were contested that they were making. I mean, Syracuse shot 48, 49%. And that's with UVA, the UVA big men and their players closing out, and also, with their hands up, just trying to make it a more difficult shot. So, for right now, is UVA ready for the tournament or tournaments? I don't think so quite yet. I still think we got to see some more from this team. I still need to see some of these guys can shoot more consistently. And the beauty of having a team like what UVA has is they go 9 deep, they go 10 deep. The difference, and having that many guys that you can go that deep with, sometimes you risk having inconsistent play from certain players. And one of the players who usually was very consistent was Testerita. Testerita had a bad game today. I don't even think he hit double figures. I think he wound up with either 8 or 9 points today. The one person who was consistent and has been coming on is Sam Lewis, number 5 himself. I love what Sam is doing. Once he gets his feet set, he's a deadly three-point shooter. He was 4 for 4 from three, in the first half, and that's a piece of it. That's a part of it. You really want your your shooters to shoot, and as he was shooting, I kind of felt like the team was playing at its best. So you're talking Sam Lewis, you're talking Malik Thomas, and Malik Thomas, he's a little up and down. I mean, he plays strong, but his play is extremely up and down. Grunlow, I want Grunlow to play a little bit more solid, a little bit more with a little bit more strength down low. Because there is some times when the ball goes in and it's a turnover. I just see that happening a lot. Really nothing to complain about or anything to speak of when it comes to Testoretto, but he had a bad game today. This is one of his worst games, if not his worst game of the year. Glad it came in a game like today against a team like Syracuse where everybody else could play well around him. And Chance Mallory, of course, being Chance, being the player, the spark plug, gets points, gets steals, is a pest. He plays the game at 1,000 miles an hour, Energizer Bunny type. I really love his game and what he does for this team. Really makes this team a difficult one to play against because of all the different talents that everybody has, and he just inserts his energy in there, and he's kind of like the tip of the spear playing that point guard position and frustrating the other ball handler and general for the other squad. Of course, we talked about also another player, Jakari White. Jakari White came in, had the Jakarmi here with all his Jakarmi guys in the stands and all their shirts. That was awesome. And he had a pretty good game. He made 2 threes. I want to say he was 2 for 5 or 2 for 4 from 3. He did well there. Jakari is looks like he's getting back into rhythm, and they could definitely use more consistent outside shooting. But they shot, like I said, 41% from the field. That's not good. And they shot 33% from 3. And they shot 71% from the free throw line. Usually those numbers are at least 10% better during their games. Each of those percentages is usually 10% higher. Syracuse, I will say, younger team there, and but they played tough. They had some players out there, and I thought that I didn't get scared, but I got a little worried a little bit when I saw UVA started to have some slowdown in how they play. There were times in the beginning of the year where the University of Virginia basketball team would put up shots early in the shot clock. As of late, it seems like they are letting the shot clock get down to 5, 6, 7, 3 seconds before they get a shot up. That really wasn't and maybe it's because maybe the teams have adjusted to them and they're playing them a lot tighter, which allows the offense have to make additional passes to run more time. But usually I would like for them to play a little bit more up tempo, used to what we were saying. And I get it, you want to run the offense. And you get it here in Virginia, run the offense. For however years we had Tony here, but I think we still need to get some easy buckets. I need to look up court a little bit more and see if there's an opportunity to get an easy bucket. And that's on most of the ball handlers, meaning the point guards and the rebounders. If there's something down court, let's go for it. But other than that, UVA wins again, 72-59, and that's 20 wins for the season. What is that? 20-3 for a team that a lot of people didn't think that they would be, this good at this time of the year. Great job by Coach Oldham and his staff of assembling this team. And these are the games you got to win. The teams when you don't play good, you shoot 40%, low 40s had that, 41%, shoot 33% from 3, and still and barely shoot 70% from the foul line, and you still win the game by 13 points. Rebounded, decently as well. I don't know. Let's see how this team continues to play. I believe the next game is, I think it's another Tuesday. Let me get that really quick. The next game is against Florida State, and that's at 7 p.m. And that's what's today? I think it's Tuesday. Wow, that's a 7 p.m. game, and as it's another game, we will be on the air. We'll figure out how we'll do it with my 17 Shop Talk Sports Squad as far as doing the show during that time frame. But Wahoo's do it again. Let's see if we can keep this thing rolling. Quick note: softball's kicked off, baseball's here. Everything's getting ready to kick off for the spring sports. Let's get this thing running. Let's keep it rolling. Of course, I'm also setting up, seeing what's going on with the ACC tournament, which is in Charlotte. I love that. I will be down there in Charlotte. See how many of my 17 Shop Talk Sports team will get down there as well. But this team is just gearing up for the tournaments. You know, Coach, when you saw what they were bringing in there's a lot of different variations of the starting lineup or the different lineups he had in there. I think he's really trying to see what teams mesh well together in each situation, in all the different situations. So let's go with the Wahoo's win. They have a game on Tuesday, I believe it's Tuesday, and let's keep winning and see if they can stack the rest of this season up as well. Maybe they can win 25, 26, 27 games, get a higher seed come the tournament. But all that is in the crystal ball when it comes to later in the year. But I got to thank all of you for hanging out and watching and listening. I am in the JPJ. Let me turn around, and JPJ has filtered out. As you can see there, I'm just here in press row, just finishing up the broadcast here. But I got to thank all of you for hanging out and listening to me. And make sure you check us out on Tuesday. We got some news to talk about, and I'll give you a little teaser. And I know that there's some information that came out about a football player that we talked about, that we do cover, and that's a situation that we'll have to talk about as well on the show. And the football program, there was some news that I got today that it was something that was totally unknown. But before I get too deep into it, I'll let you guys hang on to that until Tuesday. But I got to thank all of you for hanging out and listening with me and viewing. But I want to thank you for tuning in. But as of now, this shop is closed. Thank you guys for hanging out. This is Big L, 17 Shop Talk. Wah wah. I will see you Tuesday.